Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about Earth's second moon, or like the mini moon that we have going on right now. The We've had it for a few days now, but the day that we received it, which I can't remember which day it was right now, I actually received a message about it at like 3 in the morning. I started getting a message about it. I was too tired to record the message or like listen to the message in its entirety. But I wanted to talk to you about what I was told, and then I pulled some cards that I want to try to channel the rest of the message just to give it to all of you. So, what I was told about Earth's mini moon. So, right now we have like a asteroid, basically, like a big rock that is um, uh, circulating. I can't think of the word that I want right now. It's going around the earth right now, but it won't go around the earth in its entirety. It's gonna like stay with us for a few months on a partial track around the earth, and then it's gonna leave again. So that asteroid, that rock, came from a region in our solar system that is between Jupiter and Mars, where there's this like massive asteroid belt, which just means like a bunch of rocks have accumulated there. Well, those rocks, all those rocks, most of those rocks, I should say, because there's also there's some planets actually over there, like Ceres. Ceres is part of that asteroid belt, but it's actually a planet. In that asteroid belt, all those rocks used to be one big planet. So I should say most of those rocks used to be one big planet because there are a couple smaller planets over there on their own. So it used to be a planet called Maldek. So you may have come across literature on this before. It was a planet that was part of our solar system. I don't know the complete details of how it was destroyed, and I honestly don't have any details really on what it was like to live there. But I did come across a past lifetime for one of my clients where they were like a genius with like math and physics, and they had been hired by this company along with a bunch of other people to solve all these different uh, mathematical problems or physics problems, probably some other things as well. And little did they know that all of these different jobs that each of these people were working on were going to come together in order to create nuclear weapons. So, this is the history of how they developed their nuclear weapons. And the nuclear weapons are ultimately what destroyed their planet. So, we know that they blew themselves up. We don't know the details of how and why. Um, so back to this rock we have circling our Earth for a couple months. So this rock is a portion of the planet Maldek. So why is this important, right? If you think about astrology and you think about the relevance of each celestial body and where it is positioned, and how that sacred geometry and how the proximity of it to us, how all of these things, how the actual energy of each planet or moon or whatever the body is, the energy of those, how it impacts us on Earth. We all impact each other, right? So there is meaning behind this rock, really big rock, from Maldek showing up for us. So when it comes, well, it's already here. While it is here with us, it's going to be doing a couple things. So I'm going to go right into the cards. So if you're interested in what cards I'm using, this is going to be out of order. They're actually like all mixed in together because I don't know why. I don't know. I pull I got this message at like 3 a.m. I pulled some cards and then I was like, you know what? I'm going back to bed. And then a couple weeks passed and cards got all shuffled. So we're gonna go in crazy person order here. I'm just gonna try to do these in order, to be honest with you. Oh, and all that crazy movement is Oliver being like, you know what? I'm getting up and I'm leaving. So he has got up and he left. So this is the first card I want to show you. The Isle of Wonders, Revelation, Teaching, Discovery. So this piece of Maldek has come. So what can it reveal to us? What can it teach us? What can we discover from having that energy close to us again, right? And if you think about water, it's all about emotions. And if you know, this water coming down has immense power. And so this is what, and this is tough because we're already in a month that is all about bringing old traumas and old issues to the surface, right? Because this month is about closing out old cycles, right? Closing out old cycles, tying up loose ends, uh, resolving karmic cycles, balancing karma, releasing trauma. And so now we have this piece of history that's come closer to us. And he's showing us that this has an impact, that this is supposed to initiate these hidden emotions and release them. And there's going to be a lot of power behind that. And this is important for us to understand the history of these other worlds because all of us are carrying around these experiences, right? In the form of trauma, memories, whatever you want to call it. We are carrying around our experiences from these other lifetimes. If we do not learn from our mistakes and if we don't make conscious choices, then the first thing we're going to do unconsciously is try to repeat bad history. Bad history. And it's because if we're not being conscious, the soul or the body, I mean, which one is it? Oh, the mind. Okay, so it's not the soul. That makes more sense. If we're not being conscious with our choices, the mind goes on like autopilot, right? Because remember, think of your ego, think of your mind. It wants to be comfortable. It wants to do what it's familiar with. It doesn't matter if it's very unhealthy. It doesn't matter if it's the thing that's going to kill us. The mind is just like, just do the thing we've already done. Do it the exact same way. And so we will unconsciously set ourselves up for repeating history if we don't make conscious choices and we don't take the time to learn and release trauma and transmute the trauma. Whoops! I probably talked about that card way too long. So here's another card. It says the mirror, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. Yes. Because what are we talking about, right? We're talking about our past lives on Maldek. Because whether you recognize it or not, if you are a light worker, which you are because you're watching this channel. You are not going to watch this channel unless you're awake, and you're not awake right now unless you're a light worker. So if you're watching this video right now, you have had a past life, at least one, on Maldek, because light workers show up on every planet and we try to assist that planet with ascension. Now, does that work out most of the time? Probably not, right? Because we have a lot of planets that got into a lot of trouble, Earth being the most obvious one. So we have these other lives, we have these past lives. We have spent time in these other dimensions, and we're carrying all that with us. And so it's important for us to look in the mirror, and it's important for us to resolve the emotions that we recognize that we're carrying around right now, even if we don't recognize where it's coming from. So if you're walking around and you're like, man, I'm just like, I'm depressed, I'm sad. It doesn't matter if you can figure out why. It doesn't matter if maybe you're like, I'm sad, but I don't really know why I'm sad. I think it's something in this lifetime, but we're carrying so much from so many past lifetimes that even if there is something in this lifetime that mirrors it, the true purpose of you feeling that emotion is to tap into the past lifetimes. Because you got one current lifetime, right? Let's just say you got this one current lifetime that you're working on, but you have these, hundreds or thousands of past lifetimes where you've gone through like a similar experience as what you're having now. And that's what's creating all the weight. That's what needs to be cleared. You have the crossing initiation. So, again, this is about initiating. Look at this, initiating this journey, right? Holy cow. Yeah. Because we've been walking this, right? We've been on this perilous journey in all these lifetimes. And the only way we're going to get out of this, look at this space. This is a lower vibrational space. This is not a happy space. The only way out of here is if we transmute the trauma, learn the lessons, and then we get this like portal higher up, right? We get a timeline shift for the whole planet. So this is the initiation. The initiation is becoming aware of the trauma. That's always the beginning of any transformation, of any pathway to a higher timeline. It always starts with face the trauma, right? Oh, here we go. Wailing tree, reconciliations. So there's a lot of suffering that happened on Maldek that we're still carrying around. Because here's the thing, I don't know what events led up to that planet exploding, but all of us who were on the planet when it exploded, even though we no longer had a body at that point, we would have had awareness, right? Because we're still a soul. We would have looked back at that exploding planet and gone, "Oh my gosh." And we would have recognized our role in the planet leading into that. We would have recognized the impact of our personal choices that led to the complete destruction of every plant and every animal and every person on an entire planet. And so that's a massive weight on all of us. And so it's reconciling and it's having a chance to feel those emotions, because in order to process trauma, you have to be in a body. Most always, you have to be in a body. So we were dead. We knew what happened. We're like, holy cow. We can't release that trauma until we're in a body. So we have to reincarnate again. Now somebody has to remind us, hey, you were on Maldek, and this is what happened to Maldek, and you were part of that. And this is something that needs to be released. Aurora Garden. Beginning, initiate, origin. It's giving me a lot of energy, but I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, it's going back to this this card where we were talking about initiation. This is initiating. It's repeating cards. Like we have cards from two different decks. He's repeating messages to make sure that I understand what's being said. So we're initiating. We're initiating the healing by going back to the origin of the suffering or the origin of the trauma, which is the other planet. Yep. Resurrection, comeback, rebirth, renewal. The only way for us to have the resurrection and get the renewal and get the transformation is to go through the suffering first. Endurance. In a way, it feels like this month is all about endurance, but it's not just going to be this month because that asteroid is going to be here this month and next month. And beyond that, we have so many other things going on with the Earth that's kind of all about recognizing traumas and being able to process them and release them finally. Even if you think of like the massive solar flares that just came in the last couple of days, there's all kinds of activity that's encouraging us to process things, but we must endure through that, recognizing that it serves a purpose. Let's see what this one is. Temple of Dreams, Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, Dream Journeys. Gosh, I don't know. They have been doing so much trauma release on me, and they've been giving me some kind of upgrade, but I'm not sure what it is yet. But man, my head hurts when they're putting this information in it. Okay. Sacred Dreams, Prophecies, Dream Journeys. Okay. So, uh, even if you are not aware of your emotions in your waking hours, there are many of us who are going to be processing this trauma in our dreams. So you might remember the dreams or you might not, but you're basically being guided back to similar experiences in your dreams to trigger that wound in order to release it there. Interesting that some of us will do this through our dreams. That's a lucky way to do it, I think. Discipline, time, timelines. Yeah, he's talking about timelines. Whenever we heal trauma, it changes that timeline where that trauma occurred. So it changes that portion of the past. It changes your present and then it changes your future. So this is why it's worth having the endurance for, because it's long lasting in many different ways. The storms that we are going through right now are cleansing. Absolutely. We are pushing out all this stuff that we don't need anymore because that's the only way to clear it. It's got to get stormy before it gets really, really clear. The hidden worlds, changing consciousness, awareness, extrasensory perception. So we're absolutely talking about a hidden world, right? Because not only is this another planet, it's another planet that we can't even see anymore because on our timeline, it does not exist. When we become aware of that planet's past existence, it helps to change our consciousness. It helps us to see the bigger picture of incarnation and not just be super zeroed in on what's going on Earth. Because while there's a lot going on Earth, we need to know what's going on those other planets. And this is my last card, which we kind of already talked about this. Ignition, fire. This is like the initiation cards. This is just, we got to get this started to get rid of it. And look, the word fire, fire is about transformation. It's about burning up the old energy to make a space for new energy to come in. Okay. So this is what I wanted to tell you about the mini moon, or the second moon that we have right now. Um, yeah, there's so many things that I need to tell you guys that I can never remember once I have a camera turned on. Um, See if Metatron can talk to me. I have no idea right now. Um, if you need any assistance with trying to purge or trying to recover from the purge in these, during October or probably also during November. I haven't done the November energy update yet, so I don't know what's involved with that, but I imagine that we are just doing this. Here's what it feels like. Yeah. We're doing this through the end of the year because we want to start off fresh as possible in 2025 is what it feels like. So it feels like through November and December, we're probably still going to be triggered. We're going to have old wounds coming up, all of this stuff. So if you find that you would like some energetic support through that process, feel free to reach out to us so that we can line you up with the service that will support you the most during this time. If you are not aware, I don't remember, I think I mentioned this in the last video. I've been doing like such big gaps in between my videos that I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't said. But if you are interested, I have a new service called Protection and Blessings. So if you're not currently using a protective amulet, or even if you are currently using a protective amulet, the Protection and Blessings session is protecting your energy the same way a protective amulet does, but instead of relying on it being in a piece of jewelry, I literally just tattoo this energy into your energy body so that it's permanently on you. And so you have protection whether you're wearing the jewelry or not, and also into your future lifetimes because your energy body stays with you. So there's that, along with blessing energy, which is meant to basically help you on your spiritual journey and kind of gently encourage this transformation energy. So if you're interested in that session, please feel free and reach out. It's a newer session. If you are interested in the guilt session, that one's really, really powerful. It's an intense session. The healing takes place over 21 days. So it's just like it's like this ongoing process of bringing up things that need to be released. And the thing is, you don't need to know what all of these events are to clear them. You just need to clear them, right? Like you just need to have that experience. And so what the guilt session does is the guilt session basically this is what it is. It initiates the guilt session, initiates this process so that you can feel the things you need to feel so that you can release these things. And it's going to come up in a different way than when you first experienced it. So like, whatever things you did that created guilt, it's not like you're going to experience that emotion the same way you did in that first lifetime. It may just come up just like any other energy healing. So it might just be like, man, I was grouchy for like 3 days there. I was in a bad mood. And that's how you're processing it. Or it's like, okay, I was tired for a few days, or I was sad for a few days. It might come up like that. Um, Angry is what he says. Anger. Yeah. So just depends on how you process energy. Okay, guys, whatever it is I'm supposed to be sharing with you, I literally don't know. Was there something else? He says yes. It's not a service. What is it? I have no idea what he wants me to share. I really don't. I'm trying so hard, but I'm getting nothing. And this sometimes this is how it is, right? Sometimes I'm trying to hear him and my vibration is just not in the right spot, and so I just really can't hear him. Even though he's right here. I know he's right here. I can feel him. I know he's lined up with my arm because if he wants to say yes, he's been like doing that to say yes. But I can't hear him right now. Okay. I want to be able to get this, but I can't get it. Okay, guys. I'm just going to wrap it up. And you know what? If I figure out what this is, I will just put it on the next video. So I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.